Rocklaz Radio with Tanmay Shah.
Rocklaz Radio.
Rocklaz.
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 Rocklaz Radio with Tanmay Shah.
Yes. So you were saying Maha, and how was I able to pronounce it correctly? Because I'm from a state in India which is called Maharashtra. So there's Maha in the name.
Good.
So Maha means
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Maha means great in India. Maha means great or big.
Good. In Arab language, in my language, Maha means a lady with beautiful eyes. So it's an icon for beauty, and I love my name because I can praise myself by myself. Yeah.
So it's also great. You might have heard Mahatma Gandhi.
Yes, sure.
So
I know.
So Mahatma means great soul. So Maha means great and Atma means soul. So like Maharaja is great king. So Maha means great in India.
Wow, great. Wonderful. Maha.
Yes. All right. So we are going to Tunisia today. I'll just share with the audience where is Tunisia on the map. It's the northernmost country of Africa. Here
Yes.
we go.
Tunisia is the highest point in the cartography.
Oh,
My
is it?
beautiful country is there. Yes.
It's between, for the audio listeners, it's between Algeria, Libya, and Italy. It's in the south of Italy and between Algeria and Libya, right on the top.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's almost like it's in Europe.
Yes, and we have an oldest connection with Italy, with Carthage, because Sicilia used to be part of Tunisia.
Is it? Wow.
It was, and since I think 500 years, Sicilia began part of Italy, and we have a lot of stories about Siqaliya. We call it Siqaliya in Arabic.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So which one is Sicily? This one is Sicily or this one is? Let me.
No, Sicilia. Here, check. Sicilia.
Okay, it's
Italy.
right there next to
Yes.
Tunisia.
Yes, the nearest.
Interesting, very interesting. So, Maha, what do you love the most about your country?
What I love the most about my country is Carthage. I don't know if you know about Carthage civilization 800 years before Christ. And Carthage has the first constitution in the worldwide, which Plato wrote about it. And many Greek authors, historians wrote about the governance in Carthage, the freedom in Carthage, and the democracy in Carthage. And now, as I'm working in artificial intelligence ethics, whenever I go and people they asked me, "You are doing ethics, so in AI you are inspired by UNESCO Charter for AI Ethics." I told them, "No, sorry, we are ethicals before 800 years."
Wow. So
Yes,
Carthage.
so we are ethical since 3,000 years, 800 before Christ.
So Carthage, is it like a book of like a Bible thing, or it's like, what is Carthage?
Carthage, it's civilizations in the southern part of the Mediterranean.
Civilization. Okay.
Yes.
Mhm.
It's a historical civilizations, and they did the war against Rome. Carthaginians were the first people defending Africa from the Western invasion. And when I said Carthage, many authors and experts remember Hannibal, the one who took the elephants and get across the whole North Africa, Spain, France, till to reach Rome. That man, he's from Tunisia. And
Oh.
what he did in war, till now we call it Hannibal strategy of war. It's a
Really?
great civilizations. It's a model of governance, and I'm proud of it because now, as Arabs, as Africans, as people from global South, we are labeled by barbarian, savage, and civilized people, while we are the first with the great model of governance. How it turns against us. Talking about Carthage for me is talking about branding the whole global South people and saying the right narratives about us.
What is one thing you would like to change about the country?
For instance, I want to change the legal framework because we are working on tech, entrepreneurship, and tech industry, and we have wonderful, innovative youth, a lot of startups. People are doing great things in digital economy, but they are limited with legal framework because till now we don't have a law for cryptocurrencies, for online payments, and we don't have yet a,
Hmm.
a digital banking system. I love and I hope that my country learn from what have been done in India because you are a model, and learn from what have been done in Egypt. They're doing it pretty well with launching the AI roadmap in Egypt, and from the I want them to join really the efforts led in the global south. This is what I really want that my country doing.
Absolutely. We're going to dive into AI and ethics in the second segment of the show. Now the question to you is, what is your favorite cultural event or a celebration that happens in Tunisia?
For me, the cultural event, Ramadan.
Okay.
Ramadan, I love it.
What do you do in Ramadan in Tunisia?
We have Ramadan shows that how we Muslims we can come up together because basically, especially in part of spirituality, it's very close to Indians. We have the same style of singing. We said the same poetry. Maybe in your language you say it in Hindu or in Urdu, but for us we said it in Arabic. And still we are using the same letters, Arabic letters. We praise God with our own way, where women and men singing together, praying together, and we talk for peace. We talk about fraternity, and I mean, like we are saying "Salam alaikum," like peace up unto you. And
Malaikum salam.
Ramadan, it's a great message for the whole of humanity. I love the holy month in North Africa. I love it.
When we talk about Ramadan, we have to talk about delicacies and food. So, what is your favorite Tunisian food?
The favorite Tunisian food is couscousi. It's made with okay, in French we say the word blé. Let me look at it. It's hard. Like okay, blé.
Let,
You blé. I don't know how to say in English with the wheat,
okay, so
corn,
I'm
corn,
pulling up a picture of what I found on the internet.
corn,
Tunis.
corn and grain.
Uh huh.
Yes, that's it. It made with corn and grain, and it house made food. It's really famous and cultural food. We eat it together each Friday or in the weekend. We eat it, and it varies from region to other. The people from the south they don't do it like the people from the north, and we love it because it comes from our grain. It
This
comes
is
from
your.
our land. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Very interesting.
yes, and it's the oldest food in North Africa. It's cooked from Mauritania to Egypt. So
The
it's
whole
the
of
food.
North Africa.
Yes, it's the food which united us. Yeah, even in UNESCO, it's shared between Tunisia, Algeria, and Morocco.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes. Our friend from in the Algeria episode, she was also talking about couscous.
yes, yes. It's
Tasty.
indigenous. It's made by the indigenous North African, the first indigenous North
Wow.
African.
So you should taste couscous whenever you go to North Africa and
You
Tunisia.
have to. You have to.
Talking about culture, this is something I found about customs and traditions. So can you say what is happening here in this image and what are these women wearing?
Ah, yes. This is the traditional Tunisian dress. Okay. It is generally in red, brown, and these colors have to come from nature.
Uh-huh.
Okay, we are diverse people. We don't have a special figures of Tunisia. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
because we are in the south of Mediterranean, we received many Turkmen, many Italians, people from Malta, people from France, Jew, Christians, Muslims. I mean, people all over the places came to our home and still there. Tunisia is a country who received foreigners. You cannot say that there are foreigners in Tunisia.
Very
Who no,
interesting.
whoever come to Tunisia become Tunisians.
it's
Yes.
a it's
So
welcome. It's a warm place where everybody is welcome and becomes a part
thank
of
you.
the
And
country.
we show it in our traditional dress. It's colorful. It's very colorful.
For the
And
audio listeners, I'll describe the dress. What I
yes,
can see is a colorful dress which has a head covering, and you can see a lot of chains and
okay. I will.
necklaces of gold
Yeah,
which are
the
hanging from
necklace.
the head and down till
Yes,
the hips.
the necklaces. That necklaces. It's symbol of fecundity of women.
What do you mean?
La fécondité. Okay, sorry, because I'm a French speaker. I always, my French comes up. Okay. Fertility.
Fertility. Okay.
Yes. It's an icon of fertility since the time of Carthage.
Oh,
And the crown, that's the hat. It's kind of crown. Because in the time of Carthage civilization, that time the civilization were matrimonial civilization. The women, they are the one who's leading the tribes and the country. So
oh,
their dresses, it's always have this crown. It's a sign of leadership and a sign also of in that old time, uh, before the Islam and Christianity and Judaism comes to the country, the people they have goats, and most of the
goats,
goats in North Africa, in Tunisia, Algeria, Libya, they were female goats.
gods. Okay, gods.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
they were female.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so that's why the dresses is it looks very prestigious and like it shows how she's powerful, how she has to keep her head up with these necklaces. It's symbols of power and fertility.
You mentioned that there are a lot of female gods in Tunisia.
In the old past Tunisia, yes,
Does that mean Tunisia is a matrilineal
it
society?
is. It is a matrimonial society, and even the name of Tunis, they said it means in the ancient language, the language of the indigenous community. Tunis, it was an old goat in Tunisia, and she is the intersection between north and south, and also it means the the door, the gate for Africa. It means the
Hmm.
gate. So it was like a goat who opened the gate for visitors to Africa. because because people who came, the Phoenicians who came from Lebanon, from Middle East, came to Africa, they have to go across Tunisia, and that's why they call it Tunis, and then it becomes Tunisia.
It's the gateway. Tunis is the city, main capital city, and it's called Tunisia as the gateway to Africa.
Yes.
Quickly before the next question, there was a beep or a buzzer sound in between. So, was that a bell or
No, it was a cat.
cat? No, it sounded like a buzzer.
Yes, but it's fine. It's done.
Okay.
He won't touch it again. Sorry.
She touches a buzzer. I didn't get it. I've never heard a sound, cat sound like that.
No, a cat. I have a cat, and he has a toy. She played
Oh,
with,
okay.
and she doesn't want to quit the room. What can I do?
All right, got it. So I have pulled up some other interesting fun facts when I was researching. People might know this image from Star Trek, Star Wars, and yes, this is the lot of the scenes from Star Wars has happened in this village in Tunisia. So now you know
Yeah,
where it.
this is in the south of Tunisia.
So
And
cool.
yes, it's in the desert.
And this is the Tunisian flag, which
Yes.
looks very similar, like to the Turkish flag, the colors and
Okay.
the.
Our flag was done before the Turkish flag.
Okay.
Okay. And the red means the martyrs for freedom.
Mm-hmm.
The white means peace. The star means the Islams, the 5 rules of Islam.
Mm-hmm.
And how called in English? Not the cross.
Star and the crescent moon. Crescent
Yeah.
moon.
The crescent moon means
Mm-hmm.
the Muslims' words.
Muslims?
The Muslims' land.
Okay, the land of Muslims. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. The star, the crescent moon and the star are very common in Islamic country, flags of Islamic countries.
Yes, it's very common. Yes, it's true.
So I just pulled up an image of to compare between the Tunisian and the Turkish flag just to avoid confusion.
And we were part of the Ottoman Kingdom.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we were part of them for 600 years.
600 years. How that was a huge Ottoman Empire. Like all the Saudi Arabia Emirates and all were part of the
Yes, but they
empire.
were not like Tunisia, Egypt, and Libya,
Mm-hmm.
because we have our own bey, he's the king, and most of these leaders, they are half indigenous, half Turkish.
Mm-hmm.
And we received thousands and thousands of Turkish who settled down in Tunisia. We have also a village in Turkey called Tunisia. It was in the highest mountain in Turkey. It is still now. It calls Tunisia, and we have a lot of cultural similarities between the two countries. And we stopped it being part of Turkmen kingdom when we had our own independence in 1956. After the independence, we are not anymore part of them, because the president, Tunisian president Habib Bourguiba, he claimed the republican regime in Tunisia, and there are no Bey and Turkmen king power. In 1959, we start celebrating the Republican regime in Tunisia with the parliament, elections, and political parties, and the person who wants to rule the country, he have to be chosen,
Democratically selected ruler.
Yes, based on people choice, not on his race or what have been done in the past. At the end of the day, Tunisians who liberated themselves, no one did it for them.
That's very interesting and a rare fact in the Islamic countries, because in the Middle East and everywhere you have these sheikhs and kings. But very interesting to know that Tunisia has a democratically elected ruler.
Yes, yes,
That I've pulled up another image on the screen. This is not Rome, guys. This is Tunisia. This is a
yeah.
Colosseum in Tunisia built by the Romans.
No, 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 no. Let me tell you something. After Carthage fall down, the civilization which I mentioned for you,
Mhm.
the Romans did a convention with Tunisia,
Mhm.
So Tunisians become part of the Romanian kingdom,
Mhm.
right?
Roman kingdom.
Yeah,
Yes.
they become part of it. And this theater is built by Tunisia in the time of Roman. They
Mm.
didn't build it for us because before that we have the theater of Carthage, we have the theater of
Mm.
Bilharija in the northwest of Tunisia.
Mhm.
And even though at the time of Roman we had four paps who were in the Vatican, and they are Tunisians. You
Mhm.
can check pap in the Vatican or originally from Tunisia, North Africa. We
That's
have
very
Saint
interesting.
Gelassos, we have Augustinos, who is from Tunisia, and he grew up between Tunisia and Algeria. And Saint Valentine also. He grew up between Tunisia and Algeria. And the other one, I forget his name, but well, we have a deep history with the Vatican and with Rome. But this is what I was telling you, a narrative. The narrative, the Western narrative. And
It's
Hegel, when he wrote his book, The History of Africa, he said that all what have been developed in North Africa, it have been done because they are close to Europe. And he said that it was done by Europeans. While it's wrong, it's built by the indigenous. And the proof that they are the one who protected. Theater of Jam has 600 before Jesus Christ.
Mhm.
So if they didn't feel that belongs to them, why they kept it? And why they said that all this inheritance, it's thanks to the presence of Europeans in those countries, which is wrong. And in my capacity here, as content creator, as a researcher on AI tech, as activist, I said, no, which is in North Africa belongs to North Africa. There are no way to take our beauties and take it for you and say, this is beautiful because it belongs to us. No, it belongs to us. You have nothing with that narrative.
before before talking to you, there was only once I'd heard about Tunisia. We used to have Twitter Spaces and for NFTs, and then in the community, people there were two artists who would join in for Tunisia. That was the first time I got to know about Tunisia as a country. But from what you're saying is, it is a very ancient civilization which has in fact influenced Romans and Turkish and Ottoman empires. The world needs to know about Tunisia.
Uh, yeah, the issue in these words, as we are from the global south, we are always labeling. And and Indians, they're like Arabs. We are very labeled online. We are very stereotyped. Like Muslims in India, they were stereotyped by terrorism since ages. And if we check on the history, no, sorry, you have many great authors and thinkers and peaceful. You are full of peace. But as long
Absolutely.
as we don't own the technology, we will still be suffering and struggling under these labels, and we are still remain forgotten. There are many people that don't know about Constitution of Carthage, while it is written by Plato and Aristotle and the whole of these historians from Greece. They talk about the parliament, the governments, and I will share with you, you can Google it and we'll find about it. But as long as this constitution comes from the global south, let's ignore it. Let's don't read about it.
So you're
And
saying Plato and Aristotle have read the Constitution of Carthage and they have studied it.
yes, they wrote about it. Plato wrote about it because Greece, at the time, there were the pharaoh in Egypt, Carthage in Tunisia, and the Greece and Rome. They are the four civilizations on the Mediterranean. And they were the Phoenician in Lebanon. So the global south at that time were powerful. Till now, we are powerful. But the issue is that we don't own the technology. Yes.
We need to be the soft powers. We need to not control, but have more presence on the media and technology to be a voice in the global communication.
And I
Soft
think
power.
which made our situation worse, the colonization. At the end of the day, why the colonizer could win India? Why Britain won India at the war? Because India at that time it's not industrialized. You don't have enough weapon to defend yourself. It's the same thing with us. Our people were not well educated. We don't have any kind of industry. So our kings got many debts. And then when they couldn't pay back, Britain, France, they come and they take over the land. Right or wrong? This is how it is. After we got our independence, we started to work to build our industry. But their systems, it goes faster than us. We were fighting in all over the places. We have to fight against ignorance, illiteracy. We have to fight against poverty. We have to fight against the debts also. We have to fight against the civil war, the entire crisis which we had. We have been through a lot of challenging. And now we have to learn as a superhuman person just to keep yourself now with how can I say what I love to say, people from the global south, we have to act like superhuman for the only sake to get a respectful job and to stop these biases.
I would love to talk to you and hear about the work you have done in human rights and AI in the second segment. We're talking about history. So, what is a local legend from Tunisia or a story that grandmas tell to their kids? Is there any?
Oh, we have many stories. We have many stories. A lot
So,
of, most of these stories is about female legendary.
can you tell one of them, please?
Oh, I'm not going to cry. Don't make me cry because I miss my mother a lot. Well, one of the most lovely stories, it's about Shema Khadra, a lady with the green tattoo. This lady, she had war in her village, and she has to quit the village to go to another mountain, where she finds 7 guys who are hunters in the mountain. So she asked them help, and she was very smart. She was noticing that one of them asked her for marriage. So she cooked for them a couscous, and when she was cooking it, she put a lot of her blood in the couscous.
Lot of what?
Blood.
Blood. Okay, blood.
Yeah. She
It became
enjoyed
red.
herself, and she mixed that couscous, that grain, with her blood, right? And she asked them to come and join her in a dinner. After they finished, she told them, I'm your eighth sister because you ate my blood with the grain. and that's the rule there. So she became their sister, and together they fought against the tribe who invaded her, and she ruled them. Yes, and most of the story, when I was when I was younger, I heard from mother, from aunties, from this older woman. It's about legendary of women in Tunisia, and this is the impact, the influence of matrimonial civilizations. Remember, each tribe, they call themselves with their oldest mother name.
Hmm.
Yes. And it's a way to praise someone. It's not an assault. If, for example, my father, if he wants to talk and proud about himself, he mentioned his mother name. And I will Khaira. I'm the child of Khaira. It's a
Oh,
way to praise themselves. And this
very
is what I
interesting.
like about my people. They respect women comparing to other places. They may, when they say the mother name, maybe we can think it's a context of cursing, but in my culture, no, it's a pride.
In your culture, who decides about marriage?
But in the mountain, in the highest mountain, with the indigenous North African communities, the lady, she choose her husband.
Hmm. Interesting.
Yes.
And does that mean that the ratio of girls are more than boys in Tunisia, or it's equal, or?
The difference is not, I'm not sure about it, but I think the number are the same.
Hmm.
But the number of women who are not married yet, we call it al-anusa spinsterhood. Spinsterhood, is it right?
Spinsterhood? No, I'm hearing for the first time. They
Okay,
remain single.
okay, wait. I will have to check on the word. Okay, in French, we call it the célibat.
Celibate. So celibacy, people who don't marry. Yes, that's the
Yes, yes,
English
yes, yes,
word
yes,
as well.
yes. Célibat. Célibat.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's very high. We are the highest Arabs people with the highest number of celibat.
Why?
There are many studies about us. Many studies about Tunisian women. They said, you know why? They said, you have to know more about our laws. We are the first Muslims country with which forbids polygamy. Polygamy is forbidden since the independence in Tunisia. There are the woman has the right to demand divorce, and the divorce comes from the tribunal, from the highest court. There are no verbal divorce like other Muslims. No, we have a civic state based on equality between men and women. We have the right to marry to Christian or men from other religion. There's
Hmm.
no obligation for him to convert to Islam or for her to convert. No, civic states. Also, we have a law against violence against women. We have the right for abortion. We There are no the law and the government protects the single mothers. We have this policy of protecting a single mother, divorced mother. There are many laws. We have flagship laws comparing to other Muslims and Arabs countries.
That's a
So
very progressive
it is, it
country
is,
and rules for women.
it is.
Then, if you have so many rights and privileges as a woman, why are there more celibates? Why are
That's why the many Arabs thinkers said that Tunisia give a lot of rights to women and they end up by being single. I'm in my 56 now, and I'm single and I don't have any problem, and I don't feel ashamed. I don't because the country is open. The country respected us.
So
Yes,
what do the Arabs say? You should have severe rules so that people don't remain single. They actually get married.
This is what many newspapers they've said Tunisians are singles. Because this no they said this lady are well liberated, they end up by forgetting to get married. And we are good because it's good. These civic rules taught our mothers that having a husband it's not a goal for life.
Hmm.
We are born to be good women. We are born to be a change makers. We are not born to be a wife. I was not born to take care of someone. No, I was born to take care of myself and to chase my dreams. This is the lesson which we have to taught to our girls.
Hmm.
And
You
they're
have the choice. You have the choice to be what you want and do what you want without coming under the dogmas of social, these morality rules or laws.
yeah,
Absolutely.
it's my life business. If I choose to not get married, it's still my life business. And I'm not
K-
living to please anyone else. I'm not living to please my society. I'm living to be a good citizen, a good Tunisian, a good human being.
Next question is going to be a little ironical because we ask all the guests about wedding ritual in their culture. So, is there a special wedding ritual that is very peculiar or only you have seen in Tunisia?
Ritual. Let me think about it. Ritual. You will only see in Tunisia. Uh,
Wedding ritual.
what did you say exactly?
Wedding ritual, marriage,
Wedding. Yeah.
marriage ritual that you'll see only in Tunisia, or something that you find interesting.
Okay. For me, wedding ritual, I don't find it interesting because it's very costly. I mean, like it's 7 nights, 7 days, and she has to buy a lot of clothes, and she has to change her clothes every. It's no, you feel tired, Fiat, and then it's 7 nights. I mean, like till the day of the wedding, we are already tired. I mean, like, come on, just get married and leave us. Yeah, you can find it every night. There are celebration and there are program. We have the
Mhm.
henna, the first henna, the second henna, the third
Henna.
henna.
What is
Henna.
henna?
The nights where a lady put the henna.
Design on the hand?
Yeah. You have it in India.
Yeah, we call it mehendi here.
No. I said you have it henna.
Is it like a tattoo on the hand? Red color tattoo on
Yes.
the
Yeah, that
hand?
one. That
Yeah,
one.
we call it mehendi in India.
Yes. It's in Arabic henna.
Okay. Very
So
interesting to know that even in Africa that is used.
no, it's a North African culture.
Oh.
It's a North African culture. It's
I thought
because
I thought that happened only in India, but very
no,
nice to
no,
know
it
that.
happened in the Middle East and North Africa within the Arabs,
Okay.
especially with the Muslims, because for
Mm-hmm.
them, we have this belief that the daughter of the prophet she used to do henna.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of asking benediction from God.
Mm-hmm.
So the
Okay.
bride has to do her henna for three nights. So each night she does
Mm.
it till the henna, till that tattoo become black,
Oh,
not
that
red.
much.
Yep. So she has to do it every night. And we women, we are surrounded by her. We sing and dance.
Mm-hmm. You spoke about wedding and women's rights and why about celibacy. What are your thoughts about children then? Having children and marriage could be different things, but what about growing the civilization or human as a race? That's why we need to have children's, right? What are your thoughts on uh, Tunisian women selecting to have children or not to have, about their decision to
Yes,
have children or not? What do you think about that?
it's wonderful. It's their choice. They have the right to abortion since 50 years ago. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we were the first country give the right to abortion for women because in the end of the day, it's her life, it's her body. She owns her own body. She has the right to control her body. No one
Mm-hmm.
is obliging her to have kids or not.
Mm-hmm.
It's her own business. And if she is capable, she has the ability to have kids and to raise it. It's wonderful. If she does not, she does not.
What about the birth rate then? If many women are remaining single, what about the birth rate in the country? Is the population declining?
No, 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 no. We are not declining. I think it's they are staying on the same level, but for the coming generation, maybe they are decline because the life cost is becoming higher and higher. So
Hmm.
generally, the young couples, I see them, they have only one or two because they are
Mm-hmm.
not capable to raise more than it.
Mm-hmm.
They can't. It's very expensive.
Expensive. What language do you speak?
We speak Arabic, French, Tunisian dialectal, which is a mixture with the indigenous tongue, Amazigh, and Arabic, Turkey, Italian. The Tunisian dialect, it's component of different origin and language.
Is Berber a language?
It
Berber?
is. The origin, yes.
Okay. Do you speak?
No, just a little bit of it.
What is the language you speak with your mother?
It's the Tunisian dialectal. As I told you, it's our
Hmm.
Tunisian dialect. It's a
Okay.
variety
So,
from Arabic, and it's variety from Arabic, Berber, Turkish, French. It's kind of mixture dialectal.
so now is an activity for you. Can you
Yes.
please close your eyes for us?
Uh huh.
Think of your favorite memory
Mm-hmm.
and describe to us in your own language.
اوكي. لما مشيت نقرا في الصين، واصحابي يقولوا لي، اصحابي الصينيين يقولوا لي انت منين؟ نقول لهم انا من تونس، انا افريقيه. فما يصدقوش، يقولوا لي ليه انت جميله، انت مش افريقيه، انت بيضه. فنوريهم تونس على الخريطه يقولوا لي انت جميله لانه تونس قريبه لسيسيليا، قريبه لصقليه وايطاليا، فكان يزعجني الامر. ولكن في نفس الوقت كنت نفرح لاني كنت نحكي على بلادي ونوريهم قرطاج ونوريهم كم نحن شعب عظيم.
Sweet. What did you say? Could you now translate to
Yes,
us
I
in
said
English?
the memory was in 2017 when I went to study in China, and my professor, my Chinese friends, told me that I cannot be a Faijuaren, I cannot be an African. So I told them, no, I'm African, I'm Tunisian. And I showed them Tunisian, the cartography. So they saw Sicilia, Malta, and they said, oh, you are beautiful and white because your country is close to Italy. So I told them, no, I'm beautiful because my country is beautiful. And I come from great people. It has nothing with being close to Europe or not. So they made me angry. And I feel proud of Tunisia. I'm always proud of where I come from.
Beautiful. Absolutely. How do you describe beauty if you want to appreciate somebody or something? How would you say? What word would you use in Tunisian language?
In my language, we can say mahle, how sweet it is.
Hmm.
Subhanallah, we say Allah is great.
Hmm.
Masha'Allah, generally we talk with the religious background when we saw beauty because we believe it's a gift from God.
Hmm. Subhanallah and Mashallah are words used even in India.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I think it's the whole Islamic or Muslim community have the same words.
Yes, we have these beliefs that Allah is the one who gave you this beauty, who gave
Hmm.
this, who created. So we said,
Praise the Lord. Praise the
yes,
Lord who made you.
yes, yes. Yeah, it's literally like that.
There's a song in India. The guy is the guy is appreciating a woman. He's calling her beautiful, but he says, "तारीफ करूं क्या उसकी जिसने तुझे बनाया." What should I praise the one who has made you? I mean, you're so beautiful.
It's literally the same. We have another song called okay, I want to sing a bit. سبحان ربي ايش خلق وصور سبحان ربي Subhanallah, how he could create you and how could he design you. And
Exactly.
it's a song too. He was singing for a lady and he told her Subhanu Rabbi.
Amazing. So sweet to hear that. And thanks for singing for us. What is an amazing activity to do for all our listeners in the world? For what would you invite them to Tunisia?
I invite them for the beach, first of all. They will be on the Mediterranean. It's nice to swim in the Mediterranean. It's lovely. It's beautiful beach and it's soft. I love it. Plus, they have to come to see Carthage, first of all, to see El Jam, the Romanian theater, to see the Star Wars desert in south of Tunisia, there, and to see the mosque of Zaytuna. One is the first Islamic university in the worldwide, and also the
Oh.
oldest university on the world, according to Oxford, because it was built on the 1560, I think. So it's the oldest university. They have to come to visit the highest mountain in the border with Algeria to enjoy the snow when it is winter.
Wow, it snows in Africa, guys. Note to be noted. It
snows
snows.
in
It
Tunisia
snows
and
next to the
Algeria.
Sahara Desert.
Yeah, we have everything compacted in one place. You see the desert, you have the snow, you have the beach, you have all.
Wow,
You
that's
have the
surprising
beautiful
to think.
roses, the jasmine rose in Sidi Boussaid. You come and enjoy. You have everything.
Wow, this is surprising. I need to check more and visit there. You have the largest desert in the world, and you
No.
also have snowfall.
We don't have the largest desert in the world. The largest desert is in Algeria.
Sahara doesn't reach
No,
Tunisia.
we are part of the Sahara. Yes, you mean the largest desert in North Africa. Sahara, yes. It started from Egypt to Morocco.
Yes.
We are part of it.
Yeah, between the desert you have snow. So that was what is interesting.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yes. I think you have snow in India, right?
Yes, we have in the north. Even we have all the kind of desert snow and rivers and green and
It's
white.
the same in North Africa. We have rivers, we have mountains, we have desert, we have snow, we have beauty. We have the Mediterranean. Yes, we have everything.
Talking about India, what impression comes to your mind when you hear India?
Many things. Oh, listen, I'm a big fan of Bollywood. I love Amitabh Bachchan. I love Shah Rukh Khan. I love all of your guys. Yeah, the first thing is the industry of cinema. Bollywood. I'm a big fan. You won't believe. I mean, since I'm kid, I used to watch Bollywood movies with my elder sisters, and then in the internet, then I love Indian songs.
Which is your favorite movie and song from Bollywood?
La Famille Indienne, Indian Family. I mean that movie.
Yes.
Know, most of the movies we used to watch it translated into French. Yeah, so I love that movie. I love the movies about history, and what is good about Bollywood? that it taught us how Indians were brave and they suffer from the Britain.
Mm.
And there are many movies about the role of women, of Indian women in the village, in several countries, in several parts of India, in defending India from the invaders. Also,
Absolutely.
I love these movies which talk about the living together between Christians and Muslims. I love it. And the other one, there are movies which highlight the connection between Indians and the Arabs, the Middle East, on the old time, which is wonderful. I really love historical movies. I love it because I learn more about, I learn more about my religion. Sometimes there are parts which I don't know, but it's wonderful and it's entertaining, and you learn.
Hmm.
And
Absolutely. We should catch up and share movie list with each other, because even I love watching movies and get to know a lot about culture and places through movies.
Mhm.
They are, it's interesting. Movies are based on the culture, but they also influence culture. So
Yes.
it's a give and take. Okay, let's talk about you. You have studied in China. You have also done modeling, it looks like, and you are now in Meridiana, and you have contributed in Netflix. Is that? I mean, I was able to pull that up from the internet, but is that
I'm contributing too.
a Netflix movie? Let me tell you which one.
Okay.
Is that, or maybe the AI bot has mixed it up? Yeah, I can talk about AI to you. Uh,
No, no.
so
Say it again. Now you confused me about myself. What do you?
Netflix series called Treason, which premiered in 2020. Did you contribute to that?
No.
No. So there's this AI bot that you should file a case against, which is giving this information when I type your name.
Can you share with me the link?
Yeah, I'll share a screenshot. Um, okay, so you are. Tell us about you. Let's hear from you. Forget the bot, AI bot. Tell us about you from your
Mm-hmm.
mouth.
You okay? Uh, I really want to. Before everything, can you tell me what did you got about me on Google and from the internet? I want to know what internet is talking about me.
So, author and blogger who lives in China,
Uh-huh.
researcher in AI and arts at Tianjin University. I
Tianjin
think it is
University.
from your time.
Okay.
Who has campaigned for child marriage in Africa, and you were in Ethiopia for a while.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Good.
Social media influencer and human right activist defenders, human rights defender in Arab culture, particularly around the rights of indigenous people such as Kurds, Nubians, and Amazigh. Amazigh?
Yes, they are the
Where are these
Berber.
people from? Kurds are in Iraq and Iran, right? What about Nubians and
Okay.
Amazigh?
Amazigh, it's the name called by the Berber community about themselves.
Okay.
Because the name of Berber, it's a Roman name. It's not our name. So, and Amazigh means the free human being. And this is their culture value. The first value for them is
Mhm.
freedom. Whether we die, we live free or we die. I mean, we don't have other choice in the culture. Well, so the first thing in respecting indigenous culture is to call people with the name which they choose for themselves. That's why wherever they interview me, I said Amazigh. I don't say Berber because this is how they call themselves.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you
Yes.
because through this podcast and talking to people from different communities, we actually find what they call themselves. For example, we're talking to a minister from Greenland, and we all call them as Eskimos, right?
Mhm.
But Eskimo actually means meat eaters. They call themselves Inuits. Inuit is the right name to call the people in the North Pole, whom we
Yes.
refer to as Eskimos. So they're Inuit people.
Yeah. For me, it's very crucial. It's very crucial because in somehow you find yourself repeating the Western narrative, which
Hmm.
is wrong. It's the same thing when the French were colonizing Tunisia. They called the resistance, the fighters for Tunisia, they call them Fallega. Fallega means barbarians, terrorists, and the people who are out of the law. While they are not barbarians and they are not terrorists, they're defending their lands, which you come and want to take it from them. That's why I choose, as someone who's expert in technology and I'm author, I choose to use the technology as a leverage to say the right narrative, to say the truth. And I always say I'm not taking no one's side, but I'm telling the truth. This is what happened. And I'm saying their right names. I'm saying their realities with their own language.
Hmm.
And this is the first step, I think, if we want to change the world and if we want to be respectful and stop biases in the age of the fourth industrial revolutions. We have to contribute to creating content and we have to say the reality as it is. And then the change will happen. But if we still, with no reaction, we still, like we said in French, passif, we don't do anything, we just watch and repeat, we are going
Mm.
to complicate, which is already have been complexed, and we will not be faithful to our ancestors and faithful to all the effort have done before. There are people who died for us. There are Tunisians, Indians, all over the place. They died for the independence and for the common generation. And why we are here to disappoint them? I'm not here to disappoint my people and my parents. So that's
Mm.
why I choose as my volunteering work is to write, to be a storyteller. Why not? I wrote in English, in French, in Arabic, and I use this content to raise awareness, to contribute to have a fair narrative, a non-colonized narrative.
That's important.
Yes, and now as you are following me on LinkedIn, I'm following you. You know that I think all of the Africans they know I'm bringing the agenda of decolonizing artificial intelligence and a fight for digital sovereignty in Africa. And even when worldwide discussing the responsible use of artificial intelligence, I raise the agenda of decolonizing artificial intelligence and the agenda of data sovereignty. And if Americans, Chinese, Europeans want to have responsible use in Africa, first of all, they have to respect data sovereignty values and they have to discuss with us which policy of AI responsible use on the continent. Because me, as Maha Jouini, I'm not going to copy paste from anyone. I'm working
Hmm.
to have our own policy because I'm the one who knows the challenges. I'm the one who can design the solution. And the issues is here that we are less represented at UNESCO, at UN agencies, at OECD, or all over the places. We are not represented. And these people, they come and talk in our behalf. And that's why I'm making noise. I don't allow anyone to talk on my behalf. As long as I
AI
can
is
do it, I can do the task. And I'm here, I'm in the grassroots. So I'm the one legitimate to talk about AI in Africa.
you are such a special combination of a person. AI is such a new technology, but you are also interested in history and culture, and you talk about policy and decolonization. So it's a very unique combination of interest and skills. AI is so new. Why do you think it is already being colonized?
Okay, let me tell you something. First of all, you have to know my education courses. I
Oh,
started
please. Yes.
cited my first degree was in French literature, civilization, and culture.
Okay.
And I told my mom that I don't want to be a professor in French. Okay, what I did, I asked them money to pay my studies in computer science. Yeah, trust me, I have a degree in computer science.
That's such a 180-degree
Trust me.
turn.
I studied 2 years computing. I have BTS, Brevet Technicien Supérieur. Then I moved to Addis to work as a youth volunteer with African Union Commission because I was working in civil society for digital rights and digitalization, and I was doing campaign for indigenous group and minorities, Black minorities, Jewish, Christian in Tunisia, to let their rights heard and their voices heard. In 2014, I went to Addis. I spent 2 years in Ethiopia. Then then I saw there are a lot of scholarship in computer science. I asked my supervisor to write a letter for Tianjin University because they're offering scholarship for AU officials. I told them I want to join Tianjin University to study computer science and applied technology. So she told me, Maha, do you think they will accept? I said, just endorse me. I spent 3 years in China studying studying applied technology and focusing on AI. And
Wow.
I enjoyed AI policy because I'm doing it from global South perspective, and I'm using my background in literature because my father, he was a fan of Arabian poets, and my uncles too. Like, I mean, we have a big library in house, and I'm the both, and I'm happy for being the both. I met many experts in AI who have backgrounds in anthropology, in history, and they studied computer science. And I think the one now who are doing a lot of work, who are leading, they are the one with they're combining. You know, Steve Jobs, he said, creativity is the art of connecting things. That's creativity.
Hmm.
So combining civilization, literature with technology and having the ability to create it. And the good thing with AI that you can optimize. If you study design thinking, if you study analyze of math, and even that subject of analyzing math, you have to come back to the Figaro's, the first origin of math, to the Greece ancient. So sorry, math is a branch of philosophy. So as authors, we are legitimate to read it because it's based on logic. And AI, it's the highest point. It's this beautiful combination between anthropology, art, legal framework, law, the languages, everything. This beautiful
I'm
combination, and I love it. And I don't see myself as a bizarre person. I think I'm an AI lady. I'm a lady from the fourth industrial revolution. This is the time of intersection, of combination, of being superhuman and learning every day. Yes,
I'm
and
very
I
keen to know
go ahead.
about. I'm very keen to know what a person of your talent and interest has created. What can you give us examples of your field of work where you have combined all your diverse knowledge and experience in
Ah,
history and AI and created something and which has impacted people?
okay. The first book called Lover from Africa, I published it in 2017. Okay, and I won a prize that the most influential Amazigh Berber slash personality for the year 2017. It's hard in Arab region that someone who belongs to this minority to write and publish about this minority. So I use the tools of social media algorithm because I'm smart with it to promote my book. And at the first, I was not enough accepted because my background, French literature, computing, and I work in sub-Saharan Africa. There are no Arab author who comes from this background. I mean, like I didn't study Arabic literature. Okay,
Hmm.
it's fine. I use the digital communication tools to promote the book, and it was bestseller.
Wow.
Yes, and it was very impactful because I brought the voices of minorities in short stories written in Arabic, and I brought the feminism aspect, minorities aspect, all what Arab conservative elites hate. I wrote it in that book.
Can you please tell us a short story from
No,
that book?
many. Let's do it for another day.
One. It's a short story, so one at
No,
least we can
it's
hear.
not that short. It's kind of novel. Okay, it's 130 pages. It's a book. It's a book. I'm going to. It's not that short stories. I'm going to share it with you.
An anecdote or an observation that you found which is
Uh,
very unique to that culture
observe.
or region.
Okay, observation was about freedom of women, about celibacy, about many things. But the second book was called. I published it 2 years ago. Called The Last Dance from Carthage to China. الرقصة الأخيرة من قرطاج إلى الصين. It was about my journey in China. And I wrote about how Chinese perceive Arabs, how Chinese perceive Africans, and how I was disappointed by the communism in China because this is not what I expect. But the country is beautiful. I
Tell
wrote
me
about,
more. What you didn't expect about communism? What were your expectations and what you didn't expect?
okay, I have this political socialist background in some
Hmm.
point. What I didn't expect, there are, what I have ideas about Chinese, it's like what we wrote about Mao Zedong, about the work of Mao Zedong, about l'international, about the fight against poverty, about all these values and story. The red star for Rikiti. But when I was in Beijing, Tianjin, I saw a lot of American brands. I met a lot of Chinese who are excited to talk in English and who are impressed by American models of life. And I saw like Chinese, they're very fancy, they pay in expensive clothes, and they are keen to learn and they're happy with the Americans and Europeans. And this is not what we know about you, go people. No. So it surprised me. It's very controversial for me, and also it's controversial for them because they expect that Arabs are very conservative, and Arabs they cover their head, and Arabs they don't speak other language. And for them, I was very European and open. And for myself, I told them, no, I'm a common Arab. No, you don't. So I realized that we have the wrong stereotypes about ourselves.
Both were surprised about each other.
Yeah. So the book it was about this narrative. It was about this narrative, my journey there, and there are many people who appreciate it because the book comes from a woman, and it is our right to write about our journey. And what I
Hmm.
faced that when I published the book, all the criticism comes not about the book. No, the criticism comes that I'm someone with a tech and international relation background. Why do I come and write? And there are many
Oh,
authors, many
that's very
men,
strange.
men, men who are engineers, who are doctors, who comes from non-literature background, and when they write, the associations and a lot of audience they clap for them. But as long as you are a woman, they will find whatever weakness, even if there are no weakness, they will create it for you, just to not give voices for women. You get what I mean?
Hmm.
Yes, but I don't care. I'm continuing writing. No one can stop me from that.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Go ahead. Keep creating and keep doing what you like. About decolonization and AI and AI policy, can you
Mhm.
tell us about, can you give us some examples of what were the challenges faced and what solutions you have proposed and implemented?
Yeah, the first challenging is the transfer of technology.
Sorry, transfer of technology. What does that mean?
That means that we are not manufacturing technology. And if we are not manufacturing it, the tech industry in 5 years, 10 years, it will be owned whether by France, Americans, Chinese, or any other country. We are not going to lead our tech industry. Plus,
If you break it down further, what do you mean by our own tech, manufacturing our own technology? Because everybody is using Google and chatbots, which are created by mostly Americans. So, what do you mean by what manufacturing our own
I
technology?
know, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about deeper than that. I'm talking about the data center. I'm talking about the internet, the communication, the services providers, because technology is not only using the Google drivers or Mozilla or whatever. Technology, it's in use in applications, in um in providing solutions, in digital transformation. We in Africa, we are in the stage of digital transformation. We are digitizing our administrative. I know we are not going to be 100% in digital sovereignty, but still, we can lead this data and we can lead the process. We cannot give 100% to whole process to foreigners company who will come and work on it, because will impact not only the sovereignty and the national policy. No, it will compact. I, First of all, I'm not sure that these companies, foreigners, they will bring the right solutions for us,
Hmm.
because digitalization have to be led by the people from that country, because we know the challenge and we know how to deal with it. First. Second, the other thing, if we continue leaning on foreigners, will make our debt to foreigners higher and higher, and we are not going to give the chance to local to work on this field.
Now, if you speak in terms of examples so that even the audience can relate with it,
Oh,
are you talking
there are
about
many.
data centers? That people should create their own data centers and their own websites, or even silicon chips that people have. Are you proposing from that level? Are you proposing that all of the electronic tools and the
I
wires
don't
that go through the
know.
internet, all satellites should also be made locally? Is that what you're saying?
I have the dream. I have that dream that should be made locally. But if we didn't, for example, let's talk about Senegal. In Senegal, here there are 3 data centers national, right? But there are issues with providing some services in the country. So most of the tech entrepreneur and people who are working there, they buy domain name from France and they put the data outside.
Mm-hmm.
So now the country, it will not get any benefits from this system.
They don't host their own websites in their country, they host it outside.
Okay, this is first hosting, and also all of the services it will be provided and from in outside, and it's costly for them. They will pay outside, and the country it's not going to get any benefits from it as long as they are taking it from outside. Did you get what I mean? For example, if me and Maha, I want to do an application to accelerate digital transformation. Okay, I go to company and they told me, oh no, we have already a contract with a company in France, and they will come and they will do the whole work because they are less costly than you. So here, me and other experts who are working in tech industry, we will remain in jobless because these people, they're choosing companies from outside who have already this eligibility to work on this field here. And this is a huge debate in Africa about presence and given work and given task to local in this field. Because I'm scared that technology, instead of creating jobs in Africa, will make the jobless and unemployment more and more complex under the pretext that we are not enough capable to do the tasks. This is my concern. Me, I'm talking about the futures, because what I see now. Go ahead, please talk.
Are you proposing digital socialism? That
I
you should
don't
give
know. I'm not proposing digital socialism.
communism, because
No,
you are saying that people are not getting jobs, that's why you give the hosting and they will produce even if it costs more. What if if they're costing more, obviously people will go to where it's cheaper, right? So why don't we provide solutions that enable them to produce that even cheaper than France or something
okay.
like that?
I got your point. This is wonderful. And this is the debate right away now in Africa. Because in Tunisia, most of startup who I know, they get in domain name, they get in solution, everything from PrestaShop, Shopify, and other companies who are out of Tunisia. And when I said no, why? They said because we don't trust governmental and local providers like Topnet, Telecom, and all this, and Exabyte and all this. And I'm telling them, okay, you are right. But by this way, we are killing telecommunication back home, telecommunication system. And both, they are right. Because these people, they want services reliable, and less expensive. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And me, as someone who's working in policy, I want the advancement of the telecommunication system. So I have to work to talk to the both sides. And I have to take it from the both sides. Because in the end of the day, my concern is the country. Because it's one that I understand we are living in fourth industrial revolution. There are a lot of individualism. It's true. We have to boost the business, but also don't forget where do we come from. Because this business should be in service, should be in line with, not with the government, but let's say nation, not government. Sometimes we don't agree with the government's policy, but still we have to believe to the nation. We have to make it better. I'm discussing this. Didn't get yet solutions, but if they continue like this, women remain with the less of data, and we will kill the telecommunication system as long as we are not buying from them and we are not trusting them, and there are no debate, no national debate with them.
What is what are the strengths of Tunisia? What is something that they contribute to the world which is better than anywhere else?
The strength, the accessibility to the internet, comparing to the African, we are in top list. We have more accessibility to the internet, especially in the rural regions and all of the country. For example, in Senegal, if they are in rural region, the percentage of people who have access in the internet out of the capital Dakar is 15%, 15%, which is very low, very slow. And this is
So it's
another.
highest in Tunisia.
In Tunisia, for the whole country, it's more than 70%. It's among the highest amounts of accessibility in the internet in Africa.
Even more than South Africa?
I think we are the second after South Africa. Well, Tunisia or Egypt. I mean, yeah, one of them.
So what unique strength does that bring? What does accessibility even to the last person or the last mile give? What innovations can you expect from the rural community by giving them access to the internet?
The innovation, what I expect from them is to finding solution for local binary commerce, that they can sell their goods among the different region in Tunisia. This is what I expect from them, especially on the agriculture and in industry, because if they have accessibility, we can brand our local goods and industry. This is what I think.
Absolutely. You can, because we both love cultures and every culture has something unique to offer. So if they could brand their local communities or uh, culture and media or
Yeah, and they can trade. They can trade with them within the whole country, and they can come up with the solution for what they are manufactured, even if it is small. But they can upgrade the manufacturing in Tunisia. They can upgrade the agriculture. They can upgrade their local business.
What is the biggest challenge in your field of work?
My field of work, there are many challenges actually, but the biggest one is making your people hearing you. We have a lot of digital literacy in policy,
Making your people?
hearing and understand what I'm talking. Because enough.
Yeah, that's a good question because where people are illiterate or they don't have money for food and shelter and even basic necessities, how do you talk to them about AI?
How do you talk to them about AI responsible use? It doesn't make any sense for them. You understand what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. How so what do you do about it?
You know, even it's not only about AI ethics, because they are facing now. We are facing now political crisis, economical crisis. They don't have any faith and any beliefs in policy making. They don't. They're just desperate, most of them, and it's hard to come up with the solutions. Or you tell them, okay, just be patient. I'm working on that. No, it is hard. It is hard. I'm trying. I'm trying my best, but it's also complicated task for me because it's not easy to get heard by policy makers, by leaders. even if they don't know, they will not say that we don't know. And this is another issue. This is another issue. For example, now, as I told you, we don't have any law for cryptocurrency. PayPal and all of this online payment is forbidden in the country. And the reason why, because Tunisia has many cases on supporting terrorist group in 2012, 2013, 2012, when there are some monies goes out from the central bank of Tunisia, goes to Syria and goes to this ICS group. And we have this case of funding terrorist groups. It's a case still followed now by the courts of Tunisia, because at the time we have, it was the post-Arabic Spring. At that period, there are a lot of Arabs country, a lot of Arab businessmen, a lot of Arab groups. They support some of fanatical Islamic group in Syria and Iraq and so on. I think that you do remember that period. It was a tough period for us. So till now, just to control this, they're still stopping. This is what the central bank said. They're stopping and they didn't want to liberate the movement of sending, receiving money. For each operation, you need to have proof for it. It's kind of like it's happening in China. A Chinese policy to counter terrorism and to counter all kind of possibility to finance terrorist groups. So this is hard. And for me, it's hard for me to come up with the solutions at this point, or to advocate for liberating and democratization of fintech and of this financial solution, because the country is facing a war, a fight against terrorism, against funding and financing terrorism. This is challenging. For me, maintaining peace and respecting sovereignty, the national sovereignty, it's the biggest challenging for me as someone who wants to bring solutions and who wants to use the leverage of technology.
Have you proposed cryptocurrency for that? Because whenever we talk about sanctions, crypto is a good solution.
Have we what?
Have you proposed cryptocurrency?
They did. Not me. I have friends. No, they did. And this is the answer. And this is the context. And it's complex. It is complex. That's why, because dealing with policymakers, dealing with people in government, they have their own point of view, which is maintaining peace and living together, maintaining the country. They have their internal issues. And you, as someone who comes from business background, from tech innovative background, you have your entire point of view. And people like me, we are policymakers, we are tech policy, we are both sides. We have to bring these two points of view and coming up with a solution for them. Yeah, and it's complex. It's complex. Sometimes I take their side, sometimes I take the other side, and most of the time I bring samples from other countries who can deal with it. We think about other solutions. We raise this topic all over wherever we have a meeting. And I think other challenging that we don't discuss tech policy generally in the global south, because most of the discussion, this Tuesday, I'm invited by Hill Foundation. They are in Holland, Netherlands, to discuss about the future of justice in the age of fourth industrial revolution.
In the age of?
The future of justice in the age of AI, and how AI is impacting justice.
Okay.
I have never been invited to discuss this in my country or in global south. This is another issue.
That's a very interesting question. How is AI impacting justice? Please tell us.
Wait for the Tuesday. It's impacting. It's impacting. The technology can relate another narrative. Technology will now the AI It can confuse, especially with lawyers, especially at the highest court, and the whole this. So there are a huge debate now about the future of justice with this rise of artificial intelligence, and most of these countries, especially North Africa, MENA region, they're struggling with legal framework. They don't have yet a legal framework for AI. And
What are your
things are running in uncontrollable way. We cannot control
Mhm.
it, and we are still yet not debating it and not talking about it and waiting till the European Union come up with the Act for AI, and Americans continue their policy for AI bill of for human rights. The Chinese, they've already done with their AI roadmap, and we are in the middle, just looking here and there, and copying from friends, copying from others. No, it's funny. It's so funny. They don't want to move. Whenever I ask why you are not raising your voice on this, they said no. We don't. This. We come up with these excuses, like they think that they are not able for that. They don't have the facilities. And I think it's a lot of negativity. We can do it. There are no reason to keep quiet with all what is happening now. We can contribute. We can come up with their own knowledge. And this is not the time of saying right or wrong. It's the time for telling your narratives. Just contribute. Just be here and discuss. Well,
for countries that are struggling with war, civil wars, and poverty, and just so much illiteracy and poverty, why do you think AI and technology will be a priority for them to talk on the global level?
I don't see it's a priority. AI, it's a solution. If it's not for them, it will be used by others. It will be used by the one who are doing the war right there.
Ah, yes.
Now we are talking, now we are facing the war in Gaza and Israel. And if you have a look at the content in internet, algorithms are generating a lot of hate speech, especially written in Hebrew and Arabic.
Yeah, that was my next question. AI, what are your thoughts about Israel, Palestine, and AI?
AI, listen, Mark Zuckerberg is making billion and billion of money now because the like, he has a lot of content, a lot of interactivity on hate speech, and they didn't stop and ban any of this. Hate speech is written in Hebrew, hate speech is written in Arabic, hate speech is written in English, in French, and algorithms are generating the same. Are generated. They are not. I didn't see enough control of it. I didn't see like even there are a lot of misinformation there. There are a lot of misinformation well spread on social media and the media, and there are analysis full of Islamophobia, analysis full of anti-Semitism, analysis full of hate against Jew community, analysis full of hate against Muslims. It's a mess, and social media are making this mess higher and more complex.
Can you give some examples of what do you think is not appropriate, or what did you come across on the internet that you think is hate speech or engineered a hate
There are
speech with
many.
AI?
Okay, let me tell you something. There are many hate speeches, even from my own community. There are many hate speeches. And the people who are talking about peace, their tweets or what we talk is not spread. Algorithms are generating only that hate speech.
So they're using AI. They're doing long language and they're
Uh,
creating AIs to create
let,
hate speeches based on past hate speeches. Is that what you're saying?
you know, Mark Zuckerberg and all his owner of TikTok, they're making money by this interactivity. They don't care about humans being. You understand what I mean? because there are many criticism comes to Facebook and Twitter now with Elon Musk and all this about this content. But they said what Facebook said, Meta said that they cannot, they have difficulties on contouring hate speech if it is written in other language apart of English and French, which is
Okay, that way. In that way, you're saying
this
that
is
it's not about the language; it's about the
this
content. It's
this is really, I mean, funny excuses because the system can counter it and can detect it. But the only reason, for, from my perspective, for them to let this speeches goes here and there is to get more and more users and to get more and more interactivity and make more and more money. And this is the way for these companies. They don't care about the humans.
Mhm.
They don't care about the human lives. I'm telling you, I'm writing for Living Together. I wrote many posts for stopping war because Hamas killed civilians, whether we like or we don't like. The civilians were killed. Civilians, women, child killed by Hamas and by Israeli forces. And the tweets and the peep and the written, the posts, the content, call it for peace, for stopping this mess. It's not that shared. Most of the content which is shared by, I mean, I'm an Arab. I wrote. Even you saw my post in LinkedIn
Yes.
about what is happening. And I was calling for peace. And I said that the road for peace, it has to be without any hate speech. We cannot call for peace while we are bringing anti-Semitism and racism and Islamophobia. It can't happen. We have to respect each others. We have to value each others, and then peace can come. These speeches, it won't be heard right away. It's not
It's
because
time to create. It's time to create AI solutions which promote peace speeches and positive thoughts
there are many initiatives. There are
to
AI.
counter the hate speeches. Yeah.
I know, I understand. There are many initiatives for AI for peace, for ethical use, for AI responsible use. But the issue is now with the owners of this platform. We have to write more and more recommendations for them, and we have to push them to ban all this kind of hate speech and also of labels of biases, which goes against everyone. It's not only Islamophobic; it's also anti-Semitic. It's against everyone. I cannot say no. It's only against the Arabs. No, we are not the only labeled community in this world. And what exists in social media, it shows us that everyone is labeled.
That's very interesting, and it's a very long debate, and we should continue that on the internet. So do check out and get into discussions with all the posts and all the platforms for Maha.
Thank
Maha, what do you
you.
think? Maha, what do you think is your biggest accomplishment so far?
For me, biggest second. Okay, maybe my contribution to APRM, African Peer Mechanism Review, led by the
African Peer Mechanism of?
review. It's entity working for the African Union Commission on Tech Governance in Africa. I was invited in Egypt first week of September to discuss about AI policy within the African Union Commission, and I was the youngest expert there,
Wow.
discussing African Union policy at high level event. I delivered speech. That was an achievement because my presentation titled Geopolitics of Artificial Intelligence, the Rise of Digital Sovereignty in Africa. I delivered a speech where I highlight geopolicy of AI in America, AI Bill of Human Rights from African perspective, and the other side, geopolicy of AI in China. And they brought Africa between the two empires powers now, the two tech giants, the two tech policies. And I question myself, I question Africa, which model do we want? Because the future should be decided right away. Which
So,
side are you going to take? Because we can't stay silent. If we are silent, there's someone who come and write the policy.
so which model you want?
Me, indigenous model, and I'm working with Christophe Zordi from Lebanon for Carthage Initiative for AI Ethics, and it will come soon. A model for North Africa, people from the southern Mediterranean, and we are going to bring our own initiative on AI ethics and AI policy. I have faith on my people.
Can you give an example so that it becomes more relatable to just even the regular audience? How will that affect regular people?
How it will affect the regular people?
Hello.
This is the question. Hello?
Yes.
The question how it will affect?
AI policy that you propose from the indigenous perspective. How is that different, and how does that impact regular people in the Mediterranean?
Okay, it will impact because we are going to the age of tech governance. Everything will be in tech. We are moving for that. Whether they like or they don't like, it will come. Before that crucial time come, we will be already prepared our solution and our legal framework for inclusion and for the narrative. Because we are the initiative based on raising awareness, teaching our people and preparing a local and North African, Middle East African expert on the field. Because the issue is now why we are not represented on the international debate on AI, because we were not enough prepared for that. We don't have the knowledge skills. So now, if this international policy comes to us and the time comes, at least we have to be, me, Maha, bear with me. I'm going to mentor 10 future experts in AI policy. And those people, they will discuss and talk the tech governance. And bear with me, I'm not going to allow, Tunisia will deal with their own people on the common tech governance in the country. We have to create knowledge on tech policy with Arabic language, with our local language, with our mind of understanding. There's no way that tech governance tell elite knowledge. People who are privileged. I'm elite. I'm privileged woman. I'm not that simple regular person because my family paid a lot for my studies. I studied in l'Institut Français de Coopération. I studied in American school. I made two different majors, so I'm privileged. But the others who are not privileged, they have to be represented and their visions have to be included. That's why, and in my capacity as a futurist, we see what's going to happen. So we have to get prepared for that. Because later on, people like me, they are not supposed to come and say, we are victims, we are facing oppression, we didn't have any capability or ability to do this and that. No, there's no way for any kind of excuses or this speech of victimization. So
I have a burning question.
Go ahead.
What is a key difference, if you had to point one difference between policies on AI about China and the US? What would be? What is the one key difference between the AI policy of China and US?
Freedom. Democracy. Let's say democracy. Americans like their way. Everyone have the right for accessibility. China's, they said, it's about digital sovereignty. So the key word in China is digital sovereignty. That the country, the governments own the technology, telecommunication, everything. That's the socialists in somehow model. Okay? It is. According to Max Weber, a socialist system is when the country is own the tools of manufacturing of and industry. At the end of the day, China, the country, the Communist Party, they're the one who's owning the economy. So when they're moving to the digital age, they're keeping the same strategy. They could keep in the same framework. And if you have a look at their roadmap, they're one word repeating in the whole of the roadmap: security.
Oh,
Yeah, they're no way. Security, national security. If you go to read the AI Bill of American, democracy, freedom, human rights. That's all. Yeah. It's like that.
that's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the difference. This is two different culture, two different people, two different mindsets. And I'm a big fan of both of them because they're authentic. They're reflecting themselves. They didn't
Hmm.
lie to others. They didn't lie about themselves. This is how they are, and they brought it to their AI.
In African policy, what do you think will be the keywords
In Africa, for instance, development.
for development?
Because we are the fight against poverty didn't yet finished.
Hmm. So in the roadmap, you'll have development
It have to
most of the
be.
time.
It have to be because this should be for African prosperity. And even my perspective on AI and tech industry is to create more job for African.
Hmm.
It's not really, I'm keen with digital transformation, but also I'm keen with the poverty, with the jobless. So technology have to bring solutions for us.
You have a very interesting problem to solve because there's an ongoing debate that AI is taking away jobs, and you're talking about AI to bring jobs in Africa.
Yeah, yeah, it will bring jobs for it will create. There are many new jobs is coming. We cannot see the dark side. There are many new jobs is coming.
Mhm.
It's their jobs will go to be eliminated, and new jobs are coming. We have to prepare Africans for this.
We would love to see what Mahak comes, and she is leading the innovation. And I mean, when we see forefathers of our independence and who wrote the constitution, she'll be one of those people 20 years down the line when we talk about the digital constitutions or the
Oh,
policies that have been made.
you're really kind. I appreciate. Shukran jazilan. Thank you. Thank you.
Amazing. Now we are coming to a signature round, and it's almost the time. So if you let me know whenever you want to stop. There are a couple of questions which I have that I ask all our speakers. So one of them is, if you had three people, living or dead, to have lunch with, whom would you choose?
To have lunch with Che Guevara. Comandante Che Guevara. I will have with him.
The other two?
The second one, uh, Tunisians, Tahar Haddad, the one who wrote for liberating women in Tunisia. I loved you.
Third?
Third, Nkosi Sekelele Africa. This is the song of Nelson Mandela. This is the anthem of
Oh,
South because it was the song against the apartheid and the song to liberate Africa, and which means God bless Africa. So Che
beautiful.
Guevara will sing for him, Comandante Che Guevara. Nelson, we will pray together for Africa. Tahar Haddad, I will tell him, I deserve that you fight for me in 1920.
There's a second part to this question. Now you're having lunch with them. Now you get to ask one question. What is one question you would ask Che Guevara?
Che Guevara, what? one question. Oh, how did you find Algerians? Because he came to Algeria. He was in
Okay.
Algeria. Ask him about North Africa. What about North Africa, Che? And why you didn't
Should we
come to
get
Tunisia? You went there. Why you didn't come it?
what about bringing communism here? Why
Who?
didn't you Che Guevara? Like why didn't you bring communism into Algeria or North Africa?
Why? No, he was in Algeria after the independence of Algeria, after what the Algerians did against France. Like there are more than 1 million of martyrs during the French colony in Algeria. So
Oh.
the fight was really deep. Algerians suffered and suffered a lot, and it's more than 100 years of colonialism. It's one of the hardest colonialism regime happening in Algeria. And France at that time considered as Algeria as part of the French territory. They didn't want to get out of it.
And it's such a huge country,
Yes,
Algeria.
they didn't want to get out of it. Tunisia got the independence 1956, Algeria 1964. After mostly 10 years, they struggled a lot. Algerians, they're brave. So yeah, Che Guevara visited them. Go.
What question would you ask Hadid?
Yeah, Tahar Hadid, he's one of the most influential and powerful author who wrote for liberating Arabs and Muslims women. And when he wrote his first book, Tunisian Women in the Sharia, Islamic Rules and Society, he was beaten and slapped in the middle of the street by some imams from the mosque. So he struggled a lot for us. He called for civic state. He called for right of women for election, right of women to choose her husband. And he said, this is what he said in 19 is the mother of a human being. A woman is a human being. المرأة هي أم الإنسان. المرأة هي إنسان. At that time, woman was not seen as a human being. So for me, he was great, and his book was shared by Tunisians, and what he thought and his thoughts were said by Tunisians, by Tunisian women at the time of the independence of the country.
Wow.
In 1960.
When you said that in Arabic, I found a common word. Insan means human. Even
insane.
What does insane mean in
Insane is a
Arabic?
human being.
It means the same even in Hindi.
Yes.
In our language.
There are surahs in the Quran. There's Surah Al-Insan. Yeah, it's a lovely statement.
Wow. What question would you ask Nelson Mandela?
Nelson Mandela. I cannot ask him. He's brave. He's wonderful. He did a lot. And he forgave. After all the fight which he did, he forgave at the end of the day. And that's the great message. It's forgiveness. He's wonderful.
So what about asking him how to forgive?
Ask him how to forgive. Yeah, it would be good. It would be good person. And he did it, he did it for the nation. He did it for living together. Because to live together, we have to forgive. And it was wonderful because in Namibia, they did it, South Africa, in the whole of this country. It's wonderful. Reconciliation is good.
What gets you excited about the future?
What gets me excited? Meeting people like you, Tanmay. Yes, because I feel that I have
Why?
a future ally now. I have friends, I have ally. And now in this world, we need allies to go further. We need people on your side.
Absolutely.
That's wonderful. I enjoyed it. Yeah, I mean, like having new friends, sharing your thoughts, feeling respected, and there are people who evaluate your efforts. It's wonderful. It's given me a lot of energy and make me feeling that all the effort which I have been done, it's worth.
Thank you so much. It was lovely talking to you. You're you're a very likable person. Even on your LinkedIn and your Facebook, there
Thank
are
you.
so many women. I mean, their expressions show that they are so happy with you. It shows in the photo, so that's very nice.
Thank you. Thank you, dear. Thank you. So I think we are done, right?
Yes. Thank you so much for being here. One last question. How was your experience today? In anything, any feedback you want to give for any improvement, or just how did you find today's experience?
To the experience, I'm positive. I'm positive. As long as
Okay.
my voice is getting heard, I'm positive. I can
Okay.
bring different overview. I'm a business mentor with UNDP, so I'm bringing the new technology to UNDP Arab region states and bringing to my mentees. I I delivering training.
I, I I was asking question. How was the interaction? Our interaction today. How was the podcast experience?
Oh, about your experience, I feel tired. Sorry, that's why I'm just talking another thing.
Yeah, it's a
um,
too long hour podcast, and you stayed with us.
No,
Yeah,
no, no.
thank
I
you.
love the podcast, especially. I didn't expect that I'm going to talk about my country, about Carthage, about my people who I love. Thank you. And I really, at some point, I was about to tear up. I was about to cry because I really missed it. I missed it, and
Hmm.
I love it. And I saw a lot of similarity between us, between Indian and North African and Arabs. And this is because we are ancient and we are lovely and we are brave. That's why we share these humanist values. Thank you. I love it. I love it. You are very smart. You could, and it's wonderful that whenever you invite someone, you ask him about his people, about where he comes from. It's wonderful. I love this, and you open the doors for us to talk about our beautiful country and to talk about our ancestors. It's wonderful, and this is what we need in the whole global south.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. It was great talking, great insights. We'll be following you, following your blogs, and following your policy initiatives, because what you're doing can be implemented in so many other countries around the world as well. So we're definitely following you. Thank you so much. Lead us the way through in the technology.
Thank you for
Cheers.
you, and send me the links and all. Don't forget. I love to hear it again.
This episode is brought to you by Tanmay Shah. That's me. Best way to support this show is by sharing this with your friends and dropping a comment and review on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. You can become my patron and a sponsor. That's not all. You can buy Rocklaz merchandise and NFTs and much more. See all the links in description for details. Rocklaz Radio with Tanmay Shah.
Rocklaz Radio.
Rocklaz.
Rocklaz Radio with Tanmay Shah.